Hello future engineers, and today we are going to have a video tutorial on this right here, part 1 scoop. So let's get into it. We are going to be working inside of OnShape, and let me open up that view. Cool, so I'm gonna name this file scoop, and let's get started. Cool. So I am gonna start by drawing a big old rectangle, and I'm gonna draw that on my right side face, and I'll show you why in just a second. So let's start with our sketch tool and view normal to plane, and start with a rectangle at our origin and drag that out. All right, now let's refer back to the drawing so that we can get those dimensions. So what I am drawing right now is this mystery rectangle right here. You see how it's just these light lines, meaning that they are only there as references. They are not visible lines, which are these dark black lines over here. So let's draw these. It is 2 and 1.75, and then extruded back a distance of 3.5. So let's go back over to our OnShape. And we had a dimension from here to here. Oop, not that dimension, OnShape. The dimension from here to here is a dimension of 1.75, and then our height is a dimension of 2. Cool, we'll finish that sketch, view isometric, extrude. Once again, I'm continuing to go a little bit faster through some of these steps that you've seen me do a bunch of times now. So we have this rectangle. I'm gonna turn off all these planes. Now, this is a part that some of you may have encountered inside of Taco Shell before, which is creating an angle cut. So what I am going to do, if we look over at this, I am gonna create this triangle right here, and I'm gonna subtract that triangle out so we get that nice slice to it. So let's take a look at how that looks inside of OnShape. So I'm gonna draw that triangle on this face over here. So I'm gonna start a sketch, and I'll view normal to plane. To draw the triangle, I'm gonna take my line tool, and I'm gonna start at the bottom right-hand corner, and then drag that up until I see it snap orange over here. I don't want it to snap to this middle square, and I don't want it to snap to this edge over. So right here should be good. As long as it is not black and constrained at this point, we're good. All right, then what I'm going to do, I'm gonna finish up the triangle and just draw those lines right there along the outside edge, so we have a fully regioned triangle, meaning we can extrude just that triangle out and subtract it. So those lines that I just added were black because they're fully constrained. They're taking the dimensions from the previous sketch that I made. So now I want to dimension the angle. And if we notice, our angle on our last drawing is this, the baseline to this line over here, and it's in degree of 60. So now if I go into OnShape and I select my baseline and this line, it's going to give me an angle measurement. So I will select that as 60 degrees, hit my check mark saying that I am done. I'll view isometric, and now I am going to extrude that face out. So I'll remove it, and I'm gonna show you the end type. Over here, if I go to end type, I can say I want to extrude it symmetrically, so in both directions. I can up to the next face, up to a certain face, up to a certain part, up to a vertex, or through all. And I can click that right there, and now I'm getting closer to the end of this drawing. All right, so let's take a look at the last thing that we need to draw, which is a semicircle. And this is actually something that came up on your assessment. You had to draw a semicircle if you wanted to achieve that level 4. So now we are going to learn how to do that, which is creating a semicircle. So right here, this stands for a radius of 1.25. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to the outside, not the diameter, which the diameter is fully outside. Now we use diameters to determine circles, but when we have semicircles, we use radius. So we are going to go from the center to the outside. So if we start at this point right here and go in 1.25, then we'll cut out the radius. And you can check and see if this is our full dimension. So our 0.5 plus our 1.25 will give us a total of 1.75. And then 0.75 plus our 1.25 will give us a total of 2. So we know the center of this circle is right at the corner over here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a circle at the corner over here. So let's go back into OnShape. And I'm actually going to drag my drawing around so that I can draw on the back face over here. And I am going to view normal to, and I'll start my sketch. So just like I said, I'm going to take a circle using the center point circle, and starting at this corner, I will then drag it out, and I want to throw in my dimension. So I am just going to drag my dimension tool. Notice what it's asking for though right now. It has a circle with a line through it, which means it's asking for the diameter. So we need to specify a diameter that is twice the size of 1.25, which is 2.5. So there we go. We now have a circle that we can extrude out and subtract from it. But I want to just subtract out that corner part. And I'll show you how we do that. One, I am going to take my line tool, and I am going to draw from the center of my circle until it intersects over there. And I'll do the same thing over here. And now that I have both of those circles, I'm going to teach you a new command. If we go into our 2D drawing tools, we have a command called trim. Trim allows us to remove anything that we don't need or extra lines. So we'll click that. And if we go and space over here, notice what's highlighted when I want to trim this. It is anything in between those two lines that we just drew. So from this point all the way around to the other point, we can select that and it removes it. So now we just have our semicircle left. So I can click the check mark, view my isometric view, and I am going to extrude our sketch number 3, this time removing it, changing my end type to through all, and clicking the check mark. And that is how you create scoops. So let's take a look at our material properties. Right here, we should get a volume of 6.975 and a surface area of 26.01. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.